evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. This is the Metro Council's Government Operations and Regulations Committee. Thank you all for attending, and thank you all for watching, if you're watching online. First order of business, we did not have anybody sign up for public comment. I want to also recognize our Vice Chair Lee. Thank you so much for stepping up. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
With that, we will move on to our resolutions. We have one resolution. It is RS 2023-69, Bradford Evans. This approves an intergovernmental agreement between the Metro Government of Nashville and Davidson County, the Electric Power Board of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, and the Williamson County Joint Commission's Network Authority to grant access to each other's networks to improve emergency response services. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second? All right. Is there any discussion on this? All right. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We approve. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 8. Make that 9. Councilmember Nash. He didn't consent. Leave it at 8.
Just say give your spot.
All right, so bills on second reading. We got BL 2023 number 1, Porterville and Bradford. This approves a contract between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and Net Tango Incorporated to provide website maintenance and development support for Metro's website, nashville.gov, and for other Metro government agencies or department websites as needed, and will replace the expiring contract between the parties. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All right, any questions or discussions on this? I see that we have Mr. Durbin from IT, so he'll be able to answer any questions, or if there are any, or if you'd like to maybe just say a few words about it.
I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
Will that work?
Absolutely.
So we're confident that that's the only vendor that's appropriate to really do the comprehensive.
That's a really good question. So, again, Keith Durbin, Metro ITS. When we went out 5 years ago, I think it was, for a contract for the new version of Nashville.gov, we had been working with Net Tango on the previous version of Nashville.gov. And each, as you're probably aware, Nashville.gov is a big, sophisticated system with a lot of users across Metro government. And so they developed on an open source platform, which means you can get it, but they customized aspects of it for us. So could someone else come in and perform? Ostensibly, yes, but with the experience they have being the developers of exactly what we have in place, with the expertise they have, with all the files and everything they have to make it makes sense to use the same group to continue that contract. And that is something that's a standard practice with the procurement group as well when there are situations such as this. So thank you for the question.
All right, so it was not on my copy, but there is an amendment by Councilmember Porterfield. So if we can get a motion on the amendment.
I'd like to move the amendment.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
All right, Ms. Darby, can you explain what Ms. Porterfield's amendment was?
The amendment is reducing the term of the contract. The term was for a total of 10 years, I believe, and it's now for 5 with a 5-year extension.
Correct. With the possibility of a 5-year extension.
Okay, so I have a question.
Go ahead, Ms. Weiner.
Can you share with us the pros and cons of the amendment and how it impacts you being able to move Nashville.gov forward in a cohesive way?
So at the end of the day, I don't think there is a negative about the amendment. We still have the opportunity in 5 years or pulling up to 5 years where if we think and we work with the procurement office to say, hey, this really does still make sense to go with them, then we have the opportunity to take it to 10 years. 5 years from now, we may choose to go a different path with Nashville.gov or a different vendor. So I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference, honestly.
So in the IT world, a 5-year contract is typical, a 10-year contract is typical?
So the procurement office's standard at this point, when you are dealing with a big, complex enterprise system like Nashville.gov or our ERP system, 10 years is what they are putting out there as a standard. However, I think there were some questions around this, and coming back to 5 years with the opportunity for a 5-year extension, that still works for me.
Thank you.
And I will add too, because I work in the field with typical 10 years, so. Mr. Benton, you had a question?
Just a quick follow-up. Is it, we have the option to renew, or they have the option to renew?
We have the option to renew, that's correct. Sorry.
And this amendment didn't affect the pricing at all?
It did not. It was basically a 3 or 4 word change.
Okay. Any other questions on the amendment?
Not on the amendment, sorry.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So that is 9 in favor of the amendment, none against.
Move the bill as amended?
All right. And do we have a second on the bill as amended?
Second.
Okay. All right. You had a question on the bill as amended.
Yes, what servers are they using?
That'd be a question for IT.
So
Is it like cloud servers? Was it physical servers?
they are a combination of physical and virtual servers in a hosted. It's not cloud. It's hosted in somebody else's data center, which does make it cloud.
Do you know whose it is?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you tell us?
I do not know the name of the company, but they were part of the package.
I just need to know if I need to abstain or not.
It begins with an A. I can
Right.
tell you that.
I'll abstain.
Okay. It's not Amazon. It's not.
Oh,
It's
Then
not
I don't need to
Amazon. It's
abstain.
not. No. Oh no. It's a company that's a small hosting provider. It's not a big cloud
I was
provider.
gonna say, how could you forget that name?
No, exactly. I had not forgotten that.
Okay. Any other questions on the bill as amended? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? All right, I've got 9 in favor, none against. Everybody voted. All right, the last one on the agenda is BL 2023-72 by Allen Porterfield, Evan Segal, and others. Amend section 16.60.110 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws related to monitoring of green building performances. Do have a letter to approve from the sponsor. Can we get a motion? And second?
Second.
All right, I would like to go ahead and invite the sponsor to kind of discuss a little bit about her bill.
Thanks. So Metro long ago put in place a requirement that all Metro buildings would be LEED accredited, which means they are LEED certified, sorry, which means that they're built to a high energy and environmental standard. And then the council required that an annual report was filed to the council so that we could see that it's working as intended. And in working with General Services, they made the request that we come up with a less cumbersome and more nimble and more publicly accessible way to do that, which would be a dashboard. And that has been developed. And Jennifer Westerholm, who is here, can tell you a little bit more about that, so that will be something that's always out there that people can look at. And it will be updated on a regular basis. So all this does is just move from that annual report to having that dashboard available to everyone. So I would ask for your support.
All right, any other questions, or would I can open the floor to you if you'd like to add anything to that?
Sure, I think Councilmember Allen summed it up well, but yeah, essentially this reduces the administrative burden on us. In General Services, we do build to LEED standards as per the ordinance, and so every year we report on the value of that from an energy and water savings, as well as a cost savings associated with those energy and water conservation measures. And so what we have done for the past many years is to produce a PDF that lives on our website that's, it's a PDF. It's kind of just like sitting out there. It's not very sexy or exciting, and it's static. And with working with ITS and developing this dashboard, this is going to be something where we have a digital template. We can feed the information in there. It's going to be more user-friendly to the public if they are interested in looking and seeing how our public facilities are performing, which of course they are. We're not the only ones. And so it's kind of a win-win, reducing the administrative burden for us and providing data in a way that we think meets the public's needs and accessibility needs more appropriately.
All right. With that being said, any other questions before we move to a vote? All right, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 9 in favor, none against, everybody voted. All right, before we go, just want to get a quick question since we were discussing the website with Mr. Durbin. Any plans to improve and make the website more user-friendly? Because I've noticed the last couple of years, ever since we did the revamp, it's become a lot harder to find certain things. A good example is if individuals want to see a list of all the Metro Council members. The old way, when you went to the Metro Council website, there's a little tab, you click that, and everybody's portraits came up. Now, it took me about 30 minutes to figure out you had to scroll all the way down to the bottom to the Legislative Resource Center. You click that, and then that's where you go to find it. So, are there plans, or have you been receiving a lot of feedback and making updates to the website?
So I think the issue you're talking about may be the fact there's a hamburger menu on the side, and if you click that, a whole list of options appears right there. And so that was a major change that I haven't been real thrilled with, but the feedback we're getting so every page on Nashville.gov has a provide feedback button, and so we're continually asking people that. And but one of the things that the mayor has asked is that we do a user interface, user experience review of Hub Nashville and Nashville.gov, and that is not funded currently, but it is something that I will be talking to Kristen Wilson about tomorrow as a direction on that. Long story short, the answer is yes, we are going to take a look at that kind of comprehensively, as well as our open data site.
All right, well, I appreciate that. And with that, I thank everybody, and we are adjourned.